everybody, and thank you for joining me here on the Coach's Call. In a little while again, since we've been able to talk, lots of stuff going on. I want to talk football, Canadian football, the CFL, the 110th Grey Cup is in the books between the Winnipeg Blue Bombers and your Grey Cup champions, the Montreal Alouettes. Something nobody probably saw coming. 8 in a row to finish things off. They knock off that juggernaut of the Toronto Argonauts, and then they take down what's set to be the dynasty in the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. There's so much to unpack in that whole game, but I want to talk about the whole thing. I want to talk about the Grey Cup. I want to talk about Canada. I want to talk about Hamilton, the Hammer, hosting the 110th Grey Cup, and the experience of going to the show. And if you're coming from out of town, but like Hamilton, hats off to Hamilton, man, they had everything covered. We were able to park at one of the GO stations, and then they had shuttles going to and from. Hamilton made it easy for folks to get around. And if you've never been to the Tim Hortons, center there where the game was, it's in a residential area, and I'm gonna have some pictures for you after and some videos. It's in a residential area, so there isn't a lot of parking or parking garages and whatnot. So they made it easy, and that was the first part. You got to the game, we got to the game, and it was like I'm not angry. I'm happy. I'm good. Like, my travel experience was a good experience so far. And then they had the neighborhood party, the bands. Saw a really great band from Winnipeg, Church of Better Daze. Fantastic. I'm gonna look for their link and throw that in the notes, because they were just phenomenal. They were in the tailgate party area, and the tailgate party, they had the food trucks out, refreshments, beverages. Tim Hortons was giving away free coffee and hot chocolate and a couple of other drinks or whatever. And here was the other thing. Everybody says, well, you always talk about the venues. The venue's important. It's part of the experience. It was clean. Like, everything was really clean. Even when we got into the stands, everything was nice and clean and tidy. And the overall experience was really good. The other observation I had, I think it's the first championship sporting event that I went to where 99.9% of the people I met were kind to each other. Like, there was a camaraderie and just a niceness. And it was, people wearing Montreal jerseys, people wearing Winnipeg jerseys. We had Rough Rider jerseys, Lions jerseys. It didn't matter. Even during the gameplay, as the teams battled and went back and forth, and the fans were all mixed up in the stands or whatever. 99.9% of the interactions I saw were fun, kind interactions. We often say the Canadian way. It was on display at this Grey Cup game, totally on display, and I was encouraged by that behavior. There was one jerk in the crowd, he was just a jerk. But one in 28,000 that I was able to come across, and as I made my way around the arena and the different levels and the different kiosks and everything. One, I'll take that, but hopefully hopefully the niceness rubs off on him at some point. Look, at food wise, concession wise, easy to get the concessions, easy to get the food. Pricing was pricing. You're at a major sporting event, so you're not, but it wasn't out of this world. And you wouldn't know, like, the folks double fisting beers up and down the aisles. It seemed like price didn't matter. Some of those folks, they were putting away 12 to 20 per. So, and that's number of beverages that they were taking with them. So interesting. Look, the game itself was just a phenomenal back and forth game. if you've never been to a live CFL game, Canadian Football League game, you got to go. You got to go to one. It was just the action is incredible live. And I don't know, maybe it was just Grey Cup atmosphere, but incredible live action. I know sometimes there's a lot said about, well, the 3 down versus 4 down in the NFL. And I don't want to get into a big comparison between the two leagues, but I love the 3 downs. It's a fast game. There's a high potential for the scores to go back and forth. There's a high potential for turnovers because sometimes you got to make the big play. So it, when you're cheering for your team, 3 down football is a little bit nail biting and nerve wracking. But there's an element of excitement. And if you just love the football game, of course you want your team to win, but if you just love the football game, it makes for some exciting football. The NFL 4 down is a little bit more drawn out, a little bit slower, a little bit of the slower action or whatever. So I just thought it was the format is a great format. Entertainment. I wanted to talk about entertainment. So I talked about the Church of Better Daze. Also saw Jamie Fine, and she was awesome. Great show at the pre-show. That was really fun and really neat there. And then the halftime show, Green Day, spectacular. I mean, they just sounded amazing. The sound in the stadium was great. Sometimes you get that outdoor sound and it's a little off, but the sound was just phenomenal as well. Like no complaints there whatsoever. So look at entertainment wise, they had it all nailed down. Venue wise, they had it all nailed down. Food wise, the only criticism that I might be able to find is this. You go to a game like that and you think, well, you got these two teams. They had a lot of Grey Cup t-shirts and hats, but they didn't have Montreal Alouettes wear or Winnipeg Blue Bomber wear, or even some of the other teams, because we had fans coming in from other teams. And I think that if they would have had some of that, I think they would have, that would have been a nice option for fans, and I think more people would have bought some of that even after the game. Whoever the championship team is, have your t-shirts ready, have your ball caps ready, and start making that stuff available because everybody was excited. So I would have liked to have seen that aspect. Maybe there was a lot of games too, like in the party neighborhood party and tailgate area. The beer store had some giveaways. A little wonky. The guy working the system there was a little wonky. Would give certain prizes to certain people, but whatever. It all worked out. I think I ended up with a toque eventually. Was able to trade my sunglasses in that I had won, and they were giving away seat cushions and things like that. So it's all in fun. I think at the end of the day, if you just take it for what it is, it's all in fun. Loved meeting the people that came in from Montreal, loved meeting the people that came in from Winnipeg. It was, the fans around us. There was a fellow from Montreal and he was just getting the crowd going. So I have nothing really but positive, good things to say overall about Grey Cup 110. Phenomenal, ending at the end there. Fajardo, the Alouettes QB, what an amazing story that he is. And if you haven't read on anything about that, there's lots online about Cody Fajardo and how he came to the Alouettes and his story. And then Tyson Philpott, phenomenal game as well. I thought at one point when the Alouettes were on the goal line and they got stopped by the Blue Bombers, I thought that would be the turning point and they were done. But this team just had no giving up in them. They just kept coming back and coming hard and coming back, and they win it. It was like you can't script that much better. They win it, and under 15 seconds left, Fajardo hits them and it's a touchdown, and they win it. So great drama at the end, great overall game. I think that Grey Cup, if you weren't a fan, and even if you watched the highlights, or if you were a casual fan and you watched that game, you gotta love football. You gotta love Canadian football, maybe just a little bit more. And I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and I'm gonna get some hate mail for it. but I like the CFL format better than the NFL format. Congratulations to the Montreal Alouettes. Congratulations to the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Congratulations to the city of Hamilton for putting on a spectacular show. That's the coach's call on the Grey Cup. Take care, everybody.
Singing our national anthem, please welcome Simone Simon.